What a week. The Miami Hurricanes pick up Carson Beck out of the transfer portal, and they just hired a new defensive coordinator. What's going on, Canes fans? Let's just jump right into it. Miami is expected to hire Corey Hetherman from Minnesota as Lance Guidry's replacement. So I know you're all probably asking, what's the selling point for this guy? Why him? I've never even heard of his name before. Or maybe you have if you follow Minnesota football or the Big Ten, but a lot of people probably aren't super familiar with Corey Hetherman. For starters, his defense at Minnesota ranked 5th nationally. He's all about running a physical defense and is known for his pass rush. So guys like Ruben Hurricane Bain are probably a big fan of this hire. Minnesota went 8-5 in 2024 with wins over, at the time, a ranked USC and a ranked Illinois, and they lost to Michigan by only 3 and Penn State by 1. Now, he did only spend 1 year at Minnesota. Previously, he was the linebackers coach at Rutgers, and he was the DC for James Madison for a couple of years. Overall, he's been coaching since 2006, so he's coming up on roughly 20 years of experience, but he's kind of been all over the place when it comes to his position and location. He's even coached some offense at times. I believe he was a quarterback's coach and maybe even an OC at lower levels. And then as he began to kind of climb the ranks, he focused on defense. And I will note that while he was at James Madison, he actually won the FCS Assistant Coach of the Year, which was back in 2021. So is this a big hire? Did Mario finally land an elite defensive coordinator? I mean, I don't know, right? Like, time will tell. We'll have to see. I know that I was calling for a proven guy. I wanted a guy that had a proven track record at a high level. And, this guy coming from Rutgers, James Madison, and then kind of some smaller schools before that. He only spent 1 year at Minnesota, but I will say that he was brought in to turn Minnesota's defense around. And when you look at what they did from 2023 to 2024, I think he did just that. I mean, this is a guy that they didn't want to let go, but, Miami can come knocking at the door with some big boy money, and that's obviously going to get your attention. And I'm not upset with this hire. You are going to see opposing teams' fans that are going to point and laugh and say that this guy's defense gave up 31 points to Iowa, which is fair. They did. But let's be real here. We can play that game with just about any defensive coordinator that you want to name. Put a name down there, and we can probably go and cherry pick some sort of stat or something that happened in 1 or 2 specific games where it makes that defensive coordinator look silly. We're not going to shy away from things that he's done that maybe we're not a big fan of or we don't like. But I just have to say that overall, I like this guy's energy. I've heard that he's very strategic. Many refer to him as a tactician on game day. And he's a great teacher, and, he has high energy, and these are all things that I am a huge fan of. I'm a big body language guy, high energy guy, vocal guy. I love all of those things. And, obviously, Mario Cristobal saw something in this guy that he liked, probably really kind of stole him from Minnesota, kind of snatched him up. There were some other teams that were kind of looking his way. But I will also say, just playing devil's advocate here for a moment, Mario Cristobal has not proven that he can really be that guy when it comes to making these hires. He doesn't have the best track record when bringing guys in at Miami. I mean, Dawson's been like the one consistent guy so far, been here for several years. So I have to see it. But, I'm excited for it. I'm not upset over it. I need to see things play out. I want to see how well he can recruit. Let's see how this affects the spring transfer portal window with having this guy there. Are players going to look at this guy and they say, this is a defense that I want to play for? We'll find out when we start seeing some of these guys that come in. You're also obviously going to see a lot of changes in the position coaches. We'll see, do they retain Jason Taylor? We know that Salavea is already gone. He went to Arizona. I know for a fact that someone is trying to grab Shevis Jackson, and I'll be honest, I was kind of a fan of that guy, but overall, I'm not upset if this entire uh, staff on the defensive side of the ball changes. I was trying to think of a nice way to put it, but why am I trying to be nice? I'm not mad if they clean house and start over completely. The only one maybe you might want to see them hang on to is Jason Taylor, just because of the name, the pool, because of that. But I'm not look, I'm not crying if all these guys end up going somewhere else. Derek Nicholson, yes, the players like him, a big fan favorite. Man, if they have to clean house, whatever. Let this defensive coordinator bring in the guys that he wants to bring in, so there's no excuses. And let's rock. Corey Hetherman, welcome to the family. New defensive coordinator for the Miami Hurricanes, unless something crazy changes. Because notice I say expected to. They're expected to hire this guy. Pretty much it's a done deal unless someone backs out of something, which I don't expect. You're seeing everyone report this all over the internet. It's not expected to fall out, but just as a heads up, they're expected to hire this guy. Like, you'll probably see something official from Miami in the next, I don't know, maybe 24 to 48 hours, but they want to have pen to paper, and even if that's already the case, it takes a little bit of time to form official statements and all that stuff. It's already known that he has stepped down at Minnesota, like he's not there anymore, so he's going to be the DC at Miami. Like, it's basically a done deal. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. I didn't have anyone specific in mind. I struggled to even put a wish list together. People wanted Banks. I didn't want Banks. I saw some other names thrown around that I just wasn't a big fan of. There was no one that I was like, Mario, please get me this guy. I'm going to pump out videos. I'm going to say, get me that defensive coordinator. I want him at Miami. I didn't have one. So, I got to trust with this one, and I just need to see some proof. I need to see that this guy comes in and he does a good job. So don't be shy. Let me know your thoughts. We can chop it up, and we'll do a live stream later tonight on the 11th. This is on a Saturday, and we'll maybe do a little bit of a deeper dive, look at some stats and all that good stuff. Remember, though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.